Well, let's go ahead and hop back into the game. Make sure both players are ready. Sheth saying
There
he's
it
ready
is.
now. Select is ready as well. We're going into game 2. Can Select seal up this tournament and win himself $5,000 more? Both players already guaranteed $5,000 here. But of course, they want to double that money, double the funds, Sean.
Let's see. Double mint, Zerg versus Terran. And here we are, now spawning. Uh-oh, looks like it's cross-map positions, JP McDaniel.
And we have Liquid Sheth spawning as the blue Zerg over here at the 3 o'clock position. As opponent now up game on, 1 game on Sheth is going to be Dignitas Select spawning as the yellow Terran.
Now, in these positions, I think that Select, once again, is going to want to favor just a very slow and steady, tried-and-true style push, not do any of the cutesy stuff we saw him do against Protoss in all of his games yesterday. But at the same time, there is no center to this map. It is blocked. It is actually a giant, well, it's a mechanical pipe thing that just...
It's a face, man.
Oh, well, on the mini-map we do see the face, we see the frown, we see the left and right Zelnaga watchtowers making eyes, and of course this gold expansion makes the furrowed angry brows, but of course he needs to trim those eyebrows a little bit. But the big fact is that the left lane and the right lane create 2 counterattack paths that Sheth has been using a lot, especially against Select himself on this very map in their game that they played last set.
Now, so far we've seen Select open up with those Hellions in this past couple of games. Looks like he might be doing that once again, as he does have the depot already at the ramp. Should be adding on the gas here onto one of those Vespian geysers in just a couple of short seconds. Meanwhile, back in the Zerg side of things, we're going to be seeing a 15 hatch as the drone will be going out, and a second drone. There we go. I was thinking, well, is he going to steal a high yield? Nope, he was just using that as a scouting drone. There goes the hatch down at the natural.
When we see that drone immediately heading cross-map, he knows where Select is. Select once again going for the early refinery, and given what we've seen before, I would not be at all surprised to see Select just go for the regular Hellion with reactor opening, get 2 barracks and tanks, and eventually drops, and play out an extremely by-the-book TVZ. The only problem with ever doing that style is that you have to have phenomenal in-game decision-making with your unit positioning and with your attack timings, and as we've seen, that is one of Select's greatest strengths.
Spawning pull started. We don't see gas just yet from Liquid Sheth. There we go. Finally right around the 17th supply mark. Select does have an SCV in there. It doesn't see anything too crazy going on in the Zerg base, so he will be falling back. If we look at the... Another gas steal. This is actually something that we saw from Sheth on Backwater Gulch, I believe.
Yeah, just wanting to make certain that Select doesn't do a certain set of openings. But of course, it's important to keep in mind that Select does not actually need that second gas for quite some time. He's going to be getting the reactored Hellions, he's going to be giving the tech lab to the barracks, and even as he's building his second the add-on to his factory, beginning to get those siege tanks, only then does he really need to begin adding on that second gas. There's no need to do that much earlier, so at this point, Sheth has just secured himself a little bit more knowledge of what Select is doing. But again, Select is playing so solidly, Select could almost just give Sheth vision and Sheth would still have troubles.
Factory has been finished, sorry, for Select. He is waiting for that reactor before he can, of course, lift that racks and start producing the Hellions. Now, the last time that this happened on Shattered Temple, Sheth defended against it very, very well with some roaches. We, however, don't see a roach spawn anywhere in the main base or the natural from Sheth. He is going to utilize the spine crawler and the 2 queens this time around. If he can make sure that those 2 queens are going to be on the ramp, he can simply wall off and utilize that spine crawler at the natural.
There's the tech lab coming up for the barracks. There's the command center as well. Again, notice no need to take that second gas too early. The vision coverage from Sheth, however, is just great. He's positioning these overlords to get ready to march into the into the Terran base. And we, interestingly, see a good bit of Zerglings getting produced by Sheth. Looks like he almost wants to bait out a couple of Hellions, see if he can pick those off. And quite nicely, we're going to see these 2 Hellions pop out, join their other Hellion buddies, as Select does the swap-a-roo, and I'm wondering where the other barracks is.
Well, right now, there was just about a 15-second window, still for Select to get in there and actually do some damage against the Hellions.
Uh-oh.
We see Blue Flame being researched, but do some damage against the Zerglings before they have speed is what I meant to say. Spine crawler in the back area, and uh-oh, here come the Lings.
Oh,
They're going to be able to
no.
get a surround on one of them. And using the Mink statue against Sheth, the Lings will fall back, and they actually might just go for a counterattack, Sean.
But Select looks like he's doing the dreaded style that Slayers was so popular for after MLG. Going for the Blue Flame Hellion Marine, very fast medevac play. Needs to get that second gas a little earlier to follow this up with strength, and there's going to be the medevac coming down any second now.
Sean wills it.
I will this medevac into production, and there it is. Oh my gosh, I'm so awesome. A little bit of fire going down on the Menk statue. And at this point, if I'm Sheth, I'm thinking that I'm going to be up against Marine Tank. That is the logical follow-up. The Hellions popping into my main in just a moment are going to definitely catch me by surprise.
We have a lair just about finishing there. No third base just yet from Sheth. We still have 2 spine crawlers at the natural. Nothing except for that queen and these 2 evolution chambers there in the main. Looking for Blue Flame as it is just about to finish. The medevac will be picking up these Marines. I believe it will be at least at the natural. Select might be waiting. Nope, there we go, as he does pick them up. That is quite a bit of Hellions. Will those remain at base, or will those join up?
Ooh, and there they go, move out. It looks like they're going to join these 3 Hellions in the center of the map. Amazingly, Sheth looks like he's going for that Destiny-esque style 2-base Infestor play. But will he have the Infestors up in time? I definitely do not think so. Sheth's going to have a giant number of Zerglings to hold this off, and we see the drop now incoming. We have Hellions on all angles. And these Hellions on the low ground are going to be able to reinforce so nicely, and Select's just going to pick them up, load them up into the high ground. It's going to have to be overwhelming numbers to keep Sheth alive now.
Uh-oh, he's trying to line up those Lings, and not the best engagement here as Sheth does get the surround. One of the Hellions falls, 2 more Hellions fall now, just 1 Blue Flame Hellion remaining here, as the Marines are also taking a bunch of damage. The medevac dies as it tries to lift off, but uh-oh, the Blue Flame Hellions have stuck into the expansion. And they are also going to get surrounded.
Manages to take out absolutely everything. Sheth at a big lead right now. Select doesn't really have that core set of unit-producing structures that he needs. He hasn't even begun stim or combat shields. Select, the world is his oyster. And these expansions will also be his oyster soon when he has enough minerals. I don't know if I'm using the oyster word properly.
All right, Sheth is a fan of seafood. Apparently, as the pathogen glands will be started there from the infestation pit, that will, of course, make sure that his infestors spawn with enough energy to fungal right away. 1 lone siege tank picks up 3 kills from those lanes that we're just doing a run by. Sheth making sure that a third base was not taken from Select. And this game is looking quite a bit different from the one that we just witnessed on Shattered Temple. Select tried to utilize a strategy. I'm not sure how well he's actually practiced with it, however.
We see 4 infestors plopping out now. Looks like Select is going to have to be passive for quite some time. And will he be able to actually support it? We'll find out as he gets into that late game. Right now, everything is looking great. He's establishing his gold expansion. I'm most impressed with the activity of these evolution chambers, non-stop upgrades. And you'll really see how focused Sheth is feeling the instant that that armor is done. Will he immediately start level 2? We saw him immediately start level 1. It looks like it is not going to perfectly line up. But there we see Marines continuing to pump out of these barracks. Select is not behind by any means, but Sheth is going to be very comfortable getting this 4th base. He can even get a hive very soon, and being spot on with those larva injects.
Now, the longer that this high yield is up for Sheth, it's just going to continue to bolster his forces, and eventually it's just going to be too much for Select to handle, as we do have quite a bit of infestors out already, and it looks like the high yields are going to be very, very saturated here pretty quickly. Creep spread has begun, already out connecting almost his 3rd base down here at the 5 o'clock position, and the high yield should be connected as well. If you go ahead and look back in Select base, his 3rd command center has been started. He's just continuing to add on tanks, adding on Marines, and looks like he's not going to be adding on any Hellions for right now.
Yeah, it looks like Select is doing what a lot of Terran players are doing lately, getting some Blue Flame Hellions at the start and then just completely stopping that use, hoping that they can make up for the investment with just the early game damage. Would be nice to see some of those get incorporated later on in the game.
Sean.
Oh no, Select! Oh no!
Big fungal.
Gets the huge fungal on the Marines, and there's the follow-up. Oh no, the other pack Ouch! Huge amounts of Marines lost in a heartbeat there. Infested Terrans plant down, and suddenly that plan for aggression has been muted as we only have 10 sad little Marines on the map right now. Looked like Select really wants to take that gold. This is a big risk at this point, though.
Yeah, he really does not have the units to actually secure this. Has he scouted what is going on? No, he has no idea that a third has already been secured at the high yield, and the fourth is on the way. Great creep spread, though, from Sheth once again, almost securing this entire right-hand side, or excuse me, bottom right-hand side of the map. That is just a huge amount of lings, with 2-2 about to be finished here very, very soon with infestors to back it up.
And this drop down at the south side was negated earlier on, and now as a Viking approaches that south, we see that it is getting fungal growth. The infested Terrans will clean it up. Select trying to just get a little bit of an edge, get those watchtowers established, but he is immediately running back. The tanks for Select are going to be even more significant. He needs those to stay alive to regain that momentum. And what is this? An Ultralisk Cavern. Interestingly, no Broodlords.
Now with all these infestors, and we already saw Select lose quite a bit of Marines, is the fix to this just spread out your Marines, or is it to go with a different army composition?
Army composition's fine. You just have to be very careful with that spread, because as we see, Sheth can immediately pinpoint any weakened area. And the SCVs. We haven't really seen the huge swell of infested Terrans yet. It looks like it was just a raid assault there in the center. In the unit counting station, we see 45 workers versus these 76 drones, and it looks like Select just going to ignore this expansion and make a big push towards the center gold, now picking off all of those creep tumors. Impressive as hell that Select thinks that he can take down this gold, and he is doing a good amount of damage, but he has to be careful with fungals, and oh no, another big fungal demolishes that Marine army.
Oh, and he actually neural parasites one of the tanks. The other tank did secure a kill on that infestor. Sheth losing quite a bit of infestors here. Ultralisk are about halfway done. If we look at the high yield, some lings are trying to kill it. That planetary fortress very, very quickly.
And with 3 upgrades and the Adrenal upgrade for the Zerglings, the fourth base now getting those extra geysers, Sheth is going to have a huge amount of gas units, but Sheth has not taken those geysers yet, so he cannot really sweep in. The Zerglings are falling pretty fast. We see, looks like more units from Select. Is Select really doing this? This is amazing to me. There are actually only 4 infestors on the field, 47 Zerglings. But there's no gas for Select, or for Sheth.
The Ultralisk are out on the field. 2 already popped, and there is 2 more coming. This great upgrades, like we were talking about, the Carapace upgrade and the melee upgrade will be finishing here very, very soon. Lings, Ultralisk, and Infestors are going to be what Sheth is going to be sticking with right now. We do have a drop coming, but at the same time, the Ultralisk have been discovered here from Select. He's going to try to hold this Zelnaga tower and deny any mining from the high yield. See a 5th base from Sheth, almost halfway complete, and now he's going to deny those 2 a great pickup there with the medevac.
Wow, very nice pickup, but at the same time a drop by Select. I mean, Sheth, all signs point to him for the win, but can this tactical engagement that Select is ending himself up in, can they be enough to keep him alive? And it looks like with the target fire, Select is going to have to do the hot pickup once again, and there it is. There's also no anti-air on the map. It is just Ultra Ling Infestor, one of the most powerful compositions that we can have late game, and Select is way behind in the upgrades. Zerg about to be 3-3. Oh no, Select needs to siege up fast.
Does get 1 tank siege. The other 2 have not begun so, and here's going to be a huge, huge attack coming out of Sheth. Bungles have not been thrown down, and actually Sheth taking a couple shots onto those infestors. Still 3 remain, another fungal going down. Not looking good right now for Select.
And there it is, the good game on Metalopolis. Again, Sheth is able to take a win. If Select can take him out in game number 3, Select will be your champion. But if it goes into a win for Sheth, then that means the series will be reset for a final best of 3 because Sheth came from the lower bracket.
All right, Sean. Well, our third map is going to be Shakur's Plateau. We'll go ahead and get that hosted up. And if you remember, from the first time these 2 players met in that upper final, it was a win for Select, but it was very hard fought as Sheth was trying to utilize banelings almost all game long. He had a great mute account, but it just proved too much, or too little rather, for Select. He was able to overcome Sheth. Here we go, Sean. You're immediately starting the game.
I started that game so
I
fast.
was wondering if I was in it. I
World
looked
record
down.
time.